So let's have a look at the new Death Note killer within the update. They have just dropped the Kira Spokesperson. It can create people who can be removed from the game during meetings, and they will always be removed from the game when arrested. So essentially the role will be given 2 cards, Kira Spokesperson cards, Kira Kingdom cards even, and they would, you will place them on some random investigator, and if they get arrested in the next meeting, they will be removed as the match, as a follower of Kira. However, if you are arrested, you will be removed from the match as also a follower of Kira. But they won't actually know if you are the spokesperson, so you make it look like another player was the spokesperson. If you guys didn't know already, this role is a bit busted, as I mean broken and unfinished. So if Kira arrests the spokesperson, they will be removed from the match. The spokesperson will be removed from the match if Kira is the arrester, which isn't the interaction with the follower. However, if the spokesperson has an ID on them, and Kira arrests the spokesperson who has an ID on them, the spokesperson will be removed from the match, and Kira will give the IDs back to the people that he stole it from. Which I think is a really dumb, very, very funny, but a lot of these interactions are pretty small, so they won't really change much, but hopefully these are getting patched in the future, because there's a lot of interactions where if you have a card on you, you will be removed from the match no matter what. But with a new update, there's always a new customization track, and here is what we get. We get Naomi and Rem and the Kira follower set, which we finally have a Mikami something of a skin, but yeah, it's not really the people just want Mikami himself. They had a bunch of like cool cosmetics and a lot of cut-ins, very popular cut-ins, like I'll just go through them all now. But yeah, that is the new customization track, as well as there is one new premium avatar that has a idle animation. So this is a new role. I gave myself 5 cards just to make sure I could use it a lot more. So this is how you give the Kira Kingdom card to someone, is you need to get close to them, up to this angle, and you can just tap it like that. So if you walk by someone, you can just tap it and give it to them like that. And it'll have this little animation that only you and your Kira can see. You'll also notice that I can give it to both Watari and Mello. However, if Mello has it, it will give the gun instead of the Kira Kingdom card, and Watari will be removed from the match. And finally, because you guys would want to test it, you cannot actually give it to Kira, but you can give L the Kira Kingdom card, and if he is arrested in the next meeting, he will be removed from the match. And then Team Kira will just win by default. But as you can see, we know who has the Kira Kingdom card in the entire lobby. You and Kira will both see this up in both these sections of your investigation notepad, and the Kira spokesperson will be removed their deduction hint and be replaced with this instead, where it doesn't tell you who has been in contact with other people. It will now just tell you that you need to try to blame someone to get them arrested. So we'll just arrest L himself here and see how that looks. But that is so much as I can show you in a private game. I'll have to join a online lobby to test out the other interactions with like Mello and stuff. So I'll just show you that now. So this is what it looks like when the spokesperson is arrested by Kira. Now just keep in mind that the spokesperson does have IDs on him, and he has mine on it. So it's very interesting to see what Kira would do, considering that that's his follower with IDs on him. And as you can see, it looks like Kira snitches on his own follower, which it actually gets a lot better because the IDs that he had went back to me. So it looks like Kira gave back our IDs like a good guy. Which is actually bad for both sides, because now you can't clear random investigators for showing IDs. And another funny interaction is you can arrest the confirmed investigator, which I find is quite hilarious. But this works with every role. If you have a card on you, you will always be arrested. Unless you are Mello. If you're Mello, you will be arrested because you have your gun and not the card. So let's look at Mello now, shall we? So this round we tested what Mello would do if he shot a player with a Kira spokesperson card on it. it doesn't actually tell you that he had a card on him. And this also works if you shoot the spokesperson himself. It will not tell you that he had a stack of Kira Kingdom cards on him. And I'll be testing Kira himself, and I will be passing the book to the spokesperson to see if I become the follower or the spokesperson. And as you can see, I become the spokesperson, so you can't actually turn yourself into a follower later in the game. Which is honestly a good change, because if that wasn't the case, it would be pretty overpowered. Okay guys, we're gonna do Kira Spokesperson versus Kira Follower, because people actually think the Spokesperson is just a direct upgrade to the Kira Follower. They think it's just better than the Kira Follower. But I decided to make a PowerPoint presentation to show you the positives and negatives of the Spokesperson. And I'm not gonna lie, we'll see what Spokesperson's negatives are compared to the Follower. So starting with the positives on the Spokesperson, you can secretly pass Kingdom cards during the day phase, which is something the Follower cannot do. Obviously, that's the one little trick that it has. As well as when the Spokesperson is arrested, it will not actually tell you if their role is hidden. It won't tell you if their role is revealed or not. So you don't know if you actually arrested the Spokesperson at any time in the game. But for the negatives, it gets a bit rough for the Spokesperson. So it is removed from the match even without IDs. He will always be removed from the match. And if he's arrested by Kira, he is removed from the match, even if the Spokesperson has IDs, and the IDs will be returned to the people that he stole it from. And then number 3, which is pretty a big one for like experienced players, is you don't have a Shinigami, which as a follower, the Shinigami is probably one of the most underrated things in this game, because it will tell you who has touched people during meetings, and usually, like 99% of the time, they're not L. So you can slowly round down who L is during meetings. So this is pretty massive for followers, because I like Rem a lot when I play Kira, but you can't do that anymore. And then next one, if you arrest a player with nothing on them, they are 100% innocent. If there's a spokesperson and you've arrested someone and they have nothing on them, they are absolutely innocent. So that's because Team Kira can only have, if you arrest Kira, you get the book. If you arrest spokesperson, you get a Kingdom card. So if you arrest someone and they have nothing on them, you know they're 100% innocent, which is pretty bad. And then the final one is that you do not get points to New World Progress for removing players and yourself from the match. So if you get arrested, you do not get any points. If you remove a random player with the Kingdom cards, you do not get any points. So you're better off killing people to get that 5 New World Progress as Kira. But however, because there are less investigation progress will be slower, so arresting someone is pretty alright. So the positives for Kira Follower, obviously, is they have Rem, which Rem is very underrated, as I said. It literally will round down who L isn't, so that's super strong for Follower, but no one really uses that anyway. It's the deduction hint, if you don't know what that is. And then the next one is, they cannot be removed from the match unless they have an ID. Now that is really important, because if you are removed from the match at any point, you can no longer falsely alibi, do fake testimonies. You cannot no longer lie for Kira. If you are removed from the match, you're gone. See, that's why Follow is so useful, is because when you're in the game, you get to do things in the game. As soon as you lose the spokesperson, there's no one lying for you. There is no one backing you up with your lies. So that's why it's really important to keep the Kira Follower in the match. I also want to mention that Kira, a spokesperson, can no longer allows 50-50s. So you can no longer have a situation where this guy has the book and this person could be the follower. Now you have to vote one, and then you vote someone and he's just arrested. Now the spokesperson will just be removed from the match, and then you're just by yourself. And if L already knows who you are, you have to go for a snipe. So you're put in a really bad situation if you get caught really early on. And the next positive for Kira Follower is that players can't be cleared when arrested. When you arrest someone, they can still look like the follower, as well as when you get arrested, you can make yourself look innocent for a round. This is really useful because the next one is arrested players will have their name revealed. So you get the option to kill them or keep them in the match. And when you kill them, you get points to your progress. And you don't actually have to grab their ID because you already have their name. That's really useful, but the only downside, I guess, is using the book. And I forgot to say for the negatives, there's only like one big negative I can imagine with Follower, is that you can't plant Kingdom cards, which that is its only negative for the Follower, because the Follower is the base design of it. Now looking at this little chart here, you guys can comment below what you guys actually think, because I think that the Follower is just so much stronger than the spokesperson. And I think it's a really broken role at the moment. Now I actually think that if this game had 15 players and they had a third option, like a third Kira, a person on Team Kira, spokesperson would be really good. If spokesperson was the third follower, but they couldn't take IDs, couldn't take the book, all they could do was slide people kingdom cards, I think that would be like a really good third team Kira role. But sadly, we don't have 15 players and we don't have 3 Kiras. But at the moment, if we're playing with every single role on, Spokesperson is already at a disadvantage because we're not voting out MPA, we're not voting out the confirmed innocent, we're not voting out Watri or L, and getting rid of players gives getting rid of more players gives L less suspects to go off of. So Kira actually is secretly put at a massive disadvantage. But you have to actually like think about it. I think it's really good early game. Like, well, when I say early game, I mean like we're just messing around with it now, right? We're just starting to play with this new role. Everyone's trying to figure out what it does and stuff. But I feel like late game, Spokesperson is actually worse than Follower. But you know me, I am the biggest hypocrite in the world. So I would definitely be playing the Spokesperson and enjoying it and making videos on it. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you smash subscribe. And if you want to join me in my games, I have a Discord and we'll be hosting on there. So make sure to drop in while this update is pretty popular. Anyway, see ya.